Welcome back to the channel. I'm John Iadarola, and today I want to talk about political debate online. I don't mean between the candidates, I mean between the supporters of the candidates. You have probably read some of this. You might have even taken part in it. And you might have unfortunately come across the fact that the vast majority of people that are engaging in these sorts of debates on Twitter, on Facebook, perhaps even in the comments of videos like this, don't necessarily take great pains to project an aura of intelligence. That's perhaps putting it mildly. And a study has indicated that, yes, certain groups of supporters for certain candidates are actually far better than others in terms of limiting their grammatical mistakes. Now, nobody likes to be the grammar Nazi online pointing out those sorts of things, and yet there do seem to be trends, and they're going to be revealed quite well in this study by Grammarly, which is a proofreading app. They went on Facebook specifically and took random samplings of comments that were posted on the pages of various politicians, and they found quite a few of them, and they found that the number of grammatical errors are consistently different between both parties and between the candidates. So first of all, let's bring this up. You're going to see the Democratic supporters on the left versus the Republican supporters on the right for each of these. The mistakes per 100 words, you're noticing there immediately twice as many grammatical mistakes per 100 words. 8 grammatical mistakes per 100 words. 100 words being a somewhat significant paragraph, but at least 8 grammatical mistakes, and 4 for the Democrats. More unique words in the case of the Democrats, a significant number of more unique words indicating a higher vocabulary, and then higher average number of words per comment. That's not necessarily smarter if you write more, you're just more verbose. It could actually be worse, so in that case I'm going to call that one moot. But the other two do indicate that the Democratic supporters on Facebook are a little bit more intelligent, or at least can showcase intelligence a little bit more persuasively. Before I do my commentary, I do want to show you this second part. So that's showing with individual candidate supporters. So you're seeing there, Lincoln Chafee has the supporters with the fewest number of mistakes, 3.1 per 100 words. And that goes down through a number of different Democrats, actually twice as high for Hillary Clinton. And then you get into the Republican candidates, and it shoots up to 7. And then eventually Donald Trump with 12.6. And you also notice, of course, similar, although not constant, decrease in the number of unique words per 100 words, with the most for Lincoln Chafee, almost as many for Bernie Sanders, and it looks like almost the least for Donald Trump, although actually Ben Carson has the fewest. 215, almost 100, almost 50% fewer words than some of the Democratic candidates. So look, what does this fucking matter? What does it matter if people make grammatical mistakes? Well, when you're engaging in an online conversation where you're just texting, you don't have facial cues to go on, you can't hear the person's voice, you only have a certain number of ways to broadcast that you are a relatively intelligent, non-insane person. And to those people who are unable to tell that they are failing to live up to those standards, for those who are uninterested in living up to those standards, I think it's safe to say that that actually says something about them. That they can't even mimic reasonable discourse like two adults might have between each other. Now, it's obviously different in person. Like, when I'm talking with you, I can say certain things that might make me appear somewhat intelligent. I can say other things that might make me look like a moron. I sometimes voluntarily tread into the latter if I think it's funny, for instance. And yet, you should care at least a little bit about how you appear and how your side appears. Because there's always an opportunity, regardless of how small or how particular, how niche a piece of conversation is, that someone in the middle could be watching and could be convinced by your side. And if you're just making errors in spelling and capitalization and no punctuation, and you look like it's the ramblings of a madman or perhaps a semi-educated chimpanzee, then you're going to make your side look bad. And you're going to make yourself look bad. And it might be that you don't value that. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that my opinion in this case is objectively true. It's just something that I've noticed as I've witnessed these sorts of debates. But I do like that the results in this case do seem to show that the Democrats at least have something going for them in terms of, if not intelligence, at least the ability to project it at the very least. Let me know what you think about this. I'm sure you're going to say that I'm being a smug asshole. You know what? In this case, I think you're right. But I'm going to give myself a pass because it's goddamn funny.